Live from New York and Seattle, it's Hangout Conversations with Matt Rappaport. And here we go. Or as I like to call it, Hangout Conversations with Matt Rappaport. This is our first episode directly live from Google Plus itself. Those of you that watched us on the live stream, it's awesome to have you with us here. New people joining us, welcome to this wonderful, glorious show. What is your favorite part of G Plus for not a show? What is one thing besides Hangouts? Or
well, kind of say Hangouts.
You can, yeah.
Hangouts.
Okay, Sinclair?
I gotta agree. Hangouts are where it's at.
Woo!
Yeah. Cool.
Especially this one.
This is for both of you, so one at a time. I guess Hangouts is usually everyone's answer, but favorite part of Google Plus is what, Cliff, for you?
My favorite part of Google Plus? All you fine people.
Nice. What about you, Cam? All the chicks?
I like this on Google Plus is the largest collection of attractive women I've ever seen. Like
more than Facebook, right? Is that what you're trying to say?
Oh yeah.
Definitely, being on here has given me the opportunity to build a really great network of not just people that are good connections, but people that I really consider to be legitimate friends, and that's been great. But beyond that, yeah, it's been great to build some measure of exposure. And believe me, I mean, I'm by no means like the most well-known person on here, but but there are people that see the work that I do and they like it. And as an artist, at the end of the day, that's really what I want. I just want people to see my work and like it.
Favorite part for me is definitely hanging out.
Yeah.
Definitely the fact that it's given us back what the internet and technology has taken away. We've been hiding behind our devices and typing and texting and blah, 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 blah. And now we're back communicating the way we're supposed to communicate face-to-face. So it's, truly the age of the Jetsons, and I dig it.
I really like the Hangouts, but also I want to say that just on a scale of accessibility to individuals. I mean, I've met people on Google Plus that, you consider almost unattainable in real life. Like you jump into Facebook, you're not going to be able to interact with the rock stars of today. You've got like people like Hugh Jackman and Britney Spears and April Summers and some of these other people that, not even just in the photography universe, but outside of that could pop into a Hangout or plus one of your works or comment on your work. And you actually seem like you're much closer to them.
What is your favorite part of Google Plus, Brian?
Well, see, the easy answer is to say Hangouts because that's
what everyone says.
But my favorite part of Google Plus is hurling.
which has a lot to do with Google Plus and nothing to do with Google Plus at the same time, right?
It's a different way. The standard way of sharing things on Google Plus is, if I have a picture, I'll post it. But with hurling, I have pictures that I can post that are a lot more relevant to everyone.
Yeah, I agree. Like the hurl, there's so many great things about the hurl, not just from meeting people and the experience, but the amount of content. Look at the amount of content we have to pose, and it's something we all want to see. I heard from non-New York City hurlers they were jealous, and they couldn't wait to see us all together, all these people they've hung out with together, and the fact that we got the Hangouts on Air for the concerts was cool, and we did the one with the chef. What is your favorite part of Google Plus?
For me, Google Plus is every book or magazine I ever really loved, and it's just right in front of me, and I can just read it. And I have built a great stream, and I can just go to it and read it, and I can get lost reading all the space stuff. Hi, Ray Sanders. I can get lost reading that kind of stuff. I can see some beautiful photos because I love a good photo, even if it's not of me.
Yeah, I know.
It's just lovely. And then there's something funny that will pop up, and honestly, I could just read. I could just read. But for me, I have gotten a great circle of interacting people who I know that we can start something every day, and a bunch of us will talk about it, like every day, who's going to start it.
I don't know if that's true, but they That's
I like the
interesting.
cliches. I like the cliches actually. There are so many, and Google Plus you can see it when you're hanging out. You know, it's like you're meeting so many people who I think never moved out from from their own state or from their own country. And
Favorite part of Google Plus is
Hangouts.
and favorite part of G
Yeah,
Plus.
let's do it. The
Plus.
relationships. Definitely the relationships. I mean, I want to say Hangouts too, but the relationships that we built in 8 months and the connections you make. And I want to especially say for Facebook users, the relationships you build, especially if you're an artist or a musician or whatever you're trying to promote, self-promote, you can get in touch with the people you need to talk to on Google Plus more easily than anywhere else. You won't need secretaries. You won't need any middlemen of any sort. And it's just amazing the connections you make.
What is your favorite part of G Plus? I think it's probably still Hangouts, but
it is still Hangouts. But that said, I don't know. It's a good kind of. Here's okay. This is a boring feature, but it's one of my favorites. Is actually the search. It's nice to have a good, strong, effective search in a social network, which is not always the case. Twitter comes to mind. I'm looking at you. Terrible search. So that's boring feature, but one of maybe my second favorite. Hangouts is like the killer app in Google Plus land.
Yeah, Hangouts make it all happen.
Part of what makes me a musician is the fact that I love music so much. It's always been a part of my life, and I just don't understand people that are just only concerned with themselves and what they do when it comes to being an artist.
Yeah. No, and I agree with you. Yeah, I agree with you, and that's what's so great about Google Plus. And I mean, sure, you still have things like that here, but I think the majority of the community, the majority of the musicians here are supportive, are trying to help each other, trying to like one up each other. And I think those that do are not going to hopefully not be around that long, and hopefully people that are like supportive and believe in what's going on. I mean, that's the point, right? I'm doing a show I want to expose everyone for what the good, the good stuff that's going on and what they can bring. And like I said, it's not just about your music. It's not just about what you can do, what your talent is. It's about who you are as a person, as a man or a woman, and not just integrity, but also the little things that you believe in, and like the monkey, James Monkey. I mean, that's a big deal. It's not going to be on all his albums or anything. You're not going to find about the pink monkey everywhere, but that thing, it's important to know that he likes his zipper pink monkey, and and just like Corey had his child here, and she was on a little bit earlier. We got to see her, and that was really cool. You see your record album behind you, Anacron, and lots of cool stuff, that you can't see. It's my favorite part for you guys, since you guys don't hang out. In fact, most people say Hangouts. You guys, favorite part of Google Plus for you guys, each of you.
Just the volume of information that comes from different areas. It's not just art. It's not just science. It's not just technology. It's writing. It's creative. It's tech. It's everything. And I like getting a little bit of that from all these different people who have passions.
Yeah. What about for you, Caroline?
I mean, in the way that Plus works, because it does work differently than other social networking sites, it's interesting that, like, you can see things in your stream that are not necessarily people that you've circled. So I've been inspired by a lot of things that I might not have seen otherwise, that maybe not, that I definitely wouldn't have seen on the other site had I not been thrown out of there. But, well,
there is crossover. I mean, occasionally you do. People have multiple. But yeah, that's really cool that we're able to discover so much. I mean, we were able to discover you guys. I mean, there it is, Tim.
Yeah, no, I mean, there's no way without Google Plus that I had ever would have found your art. There's just no way.
And and we've met so many really, really interesting people that we don't think that we would have networked with any other way, any other site, because it doesn't work like this one does.
Yeah, yeah. What the magic thing for me was that, not only am I meeting other artists, there's lots of other sites where I was able to do that. I met people that were similar and, got good feedback on my work, but I was never meeting other people that were just people that were interested in art.
People who need people.
I mean, it was these closed niche communities. No matter where I went, I'd find forums where I would hang out with people that love comics, and spend all day on that stuff, or just go to Flickr and I'd post all of my art and portraits and things like that and get good feedback there. But with Google Plus and especially with Hangouts, I've met all these people that have become fans of my work or just friends. And I like I said, I was in San Francisco hanging out with Lucas last year, a person I'd never met in person before I stayed a week with him.
And Lucas
that
too.
Sort of thing was just not possible 2 years ago.
And that thing what Tim's talking about is he's with Lucas. Lucas was in Canada, and because of Google Plus, Lucas moved to San Francisco with other people. Exactly. So it's all one big viral circle of moving around the world. I don't know.
Yeah, it's really incredible, and the ability to connect with people overseas. I was talking to Mara Mascaro, who's an artist and just a really cool person who lives in Italy. I talk to her all the time now. That's crazy. I mean, I'm a little jaded by it at this point because I'm kind of used to it. But if I step back from it a little bit, I'm like, that's nuts, man. I was real time talking with Mara while we were watching Coachella in California live stream to both of our computers.
Yeah.
Crazy.
And I think part of the cool thing is the idea that you kind of sort of know most people are using their real names and sort of it's them, where before, even if you could do something like that, you would have no idea who they were. They'd have an alias, they'd be hidden in a chat room. It's amazing. The cool thing about Google Plus, let me just tell everyone, not everyone knows.
The cool thing about
one of the cool things, but when you're traveling, so when you travel, everywhere you go, you're like, oh, I'm now at a place where there are people I probably know that I would not have known in a new city.
That's true. That is extremely true.
And then something like Vegas, besides the people that live there are people on Google Plus flying in and out of there all the time.
Oh, yeah.
Nonstop.
That's why I don't really use my local on my phone, because every post that I see on local, because you can go local with your stream, and every local post I see is, I'm landing in Vegas, beaches. I'm landing in Vegas.
Everyone's like, Vegas, baby, Vegas, swingers. Right? You have to blame John Favreau for that and Vince Vaughn, because they were like, Vegas, baby, Vegas. It's all exciting.
What is your favorite part of Google Plus? I mean, if Hangouts is your answer, besides Hangouts, is there something besides Hangouts?
The level of engagement, interaction, and support. I mean, it's unbelievable. Blows my mind. That's it. The quality of the people. It's it's unbelievable.
I do know, but they want to know. I was using the capture moments. I just hit print screen, but my paint doesn't seem to hit print screen.
Let me just green box him.
Yeah.
Okay, hold still.
Random Harrison.
Wait, I try to get the reflection off his face.
Chewy! Hot!
Oh, sorry, it's taking so long, but...
That's alright.
Perfect.
Colt 52, 45, I mean. That's what I said.
But this is where I go to get smarter. The Google Plus is where I go to get smarter.
Evil genius.
Alright, so instead of me answering, let Jeremy Hall answer. I'm an evil genius that has a dog. It's like the Dr. Evil cat is my dog, right? Mr. Bigglesworth.
Evil rat.
What? She's not a rat. She's a Yorkshire Terrier mixed with a poodle.
And she's wearing a sweater, goddammit.
She's cold. I put it on her. She wasn't wearing one, but...
No, I just want to say thanks for hanging out, Tim. You're real cool, and we got to spend a lot of time together. And you, Matt, and Matt too. It was great getting to know you, and that's all I wanted to say. Great hanging out.
Why don't you guys write out and play along with us? Write your favorite part of Google Plus.